Welcome to Sustainability Unplugged, podcast by Gaea, where we engage with industry leaders in candid conversations at the intersection of sustainability, innovation, and corporate responsibility. I'm Jessica Scopacasa, your host and co-founder of Gaea. In each episode, we explore real-world challenges, emerging solutions, and the bold ideas driving meaningful change across sectors. Today, we're really thrilled to be joined by Racha Mukaiyed, Managing Director at Howden Guardian Insurance Brokers and a true champion for sustainability in the insurance industry. We'll be talking about what it really means to embed sustainability into the heart of insurance, from underwriting climate risk to driving ESG integration across operations, leadership, and client engagement. But first, let me welcome Racha. Racha, it's a pleasure to have you today with us.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for having me on this call.
So, Racha, let's kick things off. First of all, we would love for you to share a little bit about your journey. You have an impressive background in the insurance sector. So, what led you to this industry and how has your career evolved over the years?
First, let me just comment on nominating me as a champion of sustainability. I truly believe that I still have a long way ahead of me. We're still in the very beginning of our journey on sustainability, hoping that we truly become champions of sustainability in the future. My name is Racha. I consider myself a global citizen. I've lived in the UAE for 45 years, mainly in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, a place that I call home. It's where I have learned and acquired most of the values, being a human being, to serve humanity. And it's all inspired by the founder of the UAE, Baba Zayed, the late Sheikh Zayed, who's really a symbol of humanity to do good. I work for a family business. My dad started a company in 1999. I started as a clerk with my dad in that business, and he sold it to Howden Broking Group back in 2019. That's when I took over as a managing director. Howden Broking Group is the largest private employee-owned company in the world, where we believe that putting people first, our people will put our business first. Is how we project the values and also our purpose of making difference. It's been a fantastic journey. I do remember before taking over as a managing director in December 2019, in September 2019, I was invited to Howden Global Leadership Conference in Oxford. And that's when I met the founder, David Howden, who launched 25-year sustainability strategy back then. And I was in awe of what the strategy is about. And I truly believe this is what every business needs to have to ensure that the business is moving forward and ensuring that it's building a healthy triple bottom line. Based on the things that I've learned back in 2019 and still learning, whether it's from the strategy or the people who are in charge of the strategy, I started embedding some of these in my operation in Abu Dhabi. And it's been a beautiful journey so far. So in the beginning, I faced a lot of challenges from the people resisting to do a lot of change when it's related to our operations, whether it's related to reducing carbon footprint, to the way we need to change our value proposition, and so forth. It took me 3 years to change the culture by communicating purpose. And I do believe that purpose defines who we are and the company that we work in. People cannot follow if they don't have clarity of purpose. So that was my first responsibility, is to ensure clarity and to include everybody on board to build a beautiful culture that can project good values in-house and externally as well to our stakeholders. The main 3 pillars of our sustainability strategy is first, changing the insurance narrative. David Howden once said, "We don't want insurance to renew itself every year to irrelevance." David and the team knew at that time the risk is evolving and rising. And with that, the products needs to be relevant. So to ensure that the products are relevant, original, and intelligent, to build resilience, he started attracting talent from across different industries, where our climate risk and resilience team started with only 3 people now to over 75 people as of today, and still growing. And every day is really an incredible journey with them to learn about the solutions they're offering to the world to serve humanity through different products like parametric insurance and insurance due diligence and so forth, that I can later on elaborate on. The second one is being a responsible business. So it's the way that we take care of the environment, reduce the carbon footprint, and helping others to follow the lead. Giving back is the third pillar, which is the volunteer work that we do and the fundraising activities that we contribute globally to raise awareness on issues related to our planet and community. So these are the main 3 pillars. So far, it's been a fantastic journey with Howden. And as I said, I'm still learning through the incredible people that work with Howden globally and locally to project the true values of good citizen, a good team player, and also to project the true power of insurance and what insurance can offer.
Wow, that's fantastic, Rasha. And I truly can echo what you also mentioned. Sustainability is really a journey. So there is always a starting point, but there is no end point. So we all continue learning and hopefully do better day after day, trying to get to those positive impacts that we aim to leave behind. You touched on many super interesting points, from clearly the legacy of late Sheikh Zayed, and of course, sustainability in the insurance industry. But maybe let's stop still a little bit on your journey. You've really not only championed these ideas of sustainability, you're actually leading action inside Howden. So can you elaborate a little bit more about your journey, your challenges, and what does being a sustainability champion and trying to bring purpose within a company means on a daily basis for you?
As I said, it was a challenging one a couple of years ago. And actually, it all started in 2008 when I wanted to serve the planet by going paper free. And that's when we started the automation journey. Back in 2008, we were the first in the local market to automate the operation to reduce our negative impact on the planet. But at that point, I did not realize that we had a truly negative impact into, the increase of carbon footprint by issuing papers and all that. So this is only a couple of years ago we started learning what are we doing to damage the planet and what can we do to ensure that we are serving the planet, and how does the business need to conduct itself and what does it take. I started learning from a friend of mine who in the market. Her name is Dina. She used to be the head of Expo Sustainability Pavilion at Expo 2020. And I started learning from her how to be sustainable. How can I help Howden be more sustainable together with others in the global market? But as I said, the most challenging part was changing the mindset of the people who are working with me and around me. So at that point, when I started, for example, calculating my carbon footprint and reducing my carbon footprint through decorating our office, where our offices, for example, majority of the office do not use lights. We use the natural light mainly. And if there are days where it's foggy in the UAE or hazy, that's when we use LED lights. So this is little things that we have done where we've decorated the office to reduce carbon footprint, and we started calculating our carbon footprint as well. That journey started 4 years ago, and I was called the crazy woman in the market. And I was okay with it because I was not doing it as a tick box exercise or to impress others. I was doing it because I truly believe that our actions define who we are as people, as leaders, as companies. And I knew that I needed to take action sooner than later. And seeing how the world is changing and seeing how what the global players are emphasizing on and paying attention on, I knew that this would have a positive impact long term. So I did not hesitate. And I took that journey and I said, I am committed and I will do whatever it takes to project the right values to ensure that I'm taking care of my people and the planet. Because again, if I don't take care of my people, how can I claim that I'm taking care of my planet? So I started also auditing my culture to understand how can I create a healthy culture, to bring everybody on board, to be more inclusive in the discussion, to be open, and also is vulnerable. And people will say, why do you want to be vulnerable as a leader? And I said, a leader is not a title. Leadership is all about chemistry of people. And if you're not genuine or authentic, how can people follow you? So it's okay to be vulnerable as a human being. That defines who we are. But vulnerable in a way that at the same time we're strong, we're committed, and we're finding solutions moving forward, and sharing our story with everyone around us so we can be all together doing good. So we started reducing our carbon footprint, but that was not good enough. So we then started looking for an auditor to calculate our carbon footprint and ensure we are credible for the offset that we wanted to do at that point. So it was not an easy process because the auditors in the local market, whether they're part of the global companies or they're local companies, we really did not feel comfortable to work with them. So we started looking around, and I do remember I turned to my colleague Katrina, who's been with me 20 years now. She's the director of employee benefits. Katrina came to me and she said, I'll take that ownership of finding a credible auditor for you, a niche auditor for you. And I said, okay. She came back to me 2 weeks later and she said, I found a great company. They're called Olive Gaea. We're going to have a meeting with them. And she was super excited about it. And I said, great, let's do it collectively. So we had the leadership team together and we were waiting on the call with Olive Gaea. And there was a lovely gentleman called Vivek who came and introduced himself and Olive Gaea, the mission and the vision of Olive Gaea, and what proposition can Olive Gaea offer. And we looked at each other in the room and we said, definitely that's the choice. And we've hired Olive Gaea to be our carbon emission auditor. And so we did the audit. And at the same time, they helped us with offsetting our carbon emission, which was an incredible journey.
So I think that this is a really great setup for our next topic, which is sustainability within the insurance space. So why do you think sustainability is such a critical issue for insurers? And from your perspective, how is ESG in particular impacting underwriting decisions or client expectations, in general, the industry today?
Okay, I'm gonna speak in general and I'll try to make it short because the topic is a wide topic. It can take 4 hours really. But in short, insurance in the past was used as a reactive response to risk. Nowadays, because of the evolving nature of risk, the insurance plays an important role into preventing losses, supporting adaptation, and as well as enabling resilience. And that really translates to a healthy triple bottom line, which is people, planet, and profit. There is a lovely white paper that our global team has issued, and it's on our website. So, for our audience who are listening to this, I do encourage you to go through some of the examples where insurance is projected as the power of resilience and as an enabler. There's a white paper called The Enabler as an incredible white paper issued, and I like using it with my community, share it with my community every now and then. So I do consider insurance as an enabler for change as the world faces really bigger and bigger threats in our lifetime. And insurance is meant to, as I said, build resilience and offer relevant solutions to the scale of the risk and investments. So I do see in short, I would say that there are three benefits for such solutions, especially that the climate risk and resilience team is offering, is to strengthen defenses and reward sustainable choices and finance the transition to a greener future. And there's, like I said earlier, there's an incredible set of solutions that can be offered depending on the risk, depending on the nature of business. So one of them that I offered myself locally is the parametric insurance to floods. You know that we all faced the flood risks last year, and I do believe that by introducing parametric solution, which is a trigger-based solution that can really offer agility and resilience to both the private and the public sector. And that also can be offered. We can also top it up with another solution where we can have a blended financial solution where the private, public, NGOs come together to create this parametric fund to address floods or any other natural disasters. Another one can be the technology performance insurance, which is a warranty insurance and has an incredible benefits. Surety bonds. There is another solution that we offered 2 years ago. Is the insurance due diligence, and that's another product that can be offered to companies that want to understand their risk exposure of green technology investments in case there is a merger and acquisition or investments in new projects. Due diligence can offer visibility on the risk that they're dealing with and understand their liability as well. And also, if they have an ESG goals, that also helps them to meet the ESG, long-term ESG goals. So there is really a lot of solutions in place, and insurance can play a vital, important role in it. I hope that the UAE insurance market can be open to offers these relevant solutions now rather than later. This is one of the resistance that I face in the last couple of years, is that the local insurance markets are not very open to new products. And I understand their perception, but at the same time, if we don't offer these products to that offers resilience and de-risk businesses and economies now, then it can be too late. And we don't want to be a reactive market. We want to be a proactive market.
Very clear. So you touched upon the UAE and some resistance still here. And at the very beginning of our conversation, you also mentioned that much of your purpose and the culture that you are trying to really bring into the company comes from, the local culture and the learnings from late Sheikh Zayed. So having lived, in the UAE, have you seen any change in the perception or the relationship of UAE-based organizations toward sustainability? So is it changing? Is it getting any better? Do you think that organizations are finally understanding the value that sustainability can bring to the organization and our community in general?
I do believe we're all evolving, including myself. As I said, we're learning, and we're still in the early journey of sustainability. There's a lot of companies that claim to know what they're doing, but it's mainly what I see is a tick box exercise, which really defeats the purpose. Because if you just do a tick box exercise, then you will not see the engagement of everybody. Sustainability needs the engagement of everybody, and it has to be bottom top, where the shareholders, the board have a clear strategy on sustainability. There should be committees involved depending on the complexity of the nature of the business. The governance plays a vital, important role in it. So I do remember when I started this journey, I made sure that some of the elements of sustainability embedded in our code of conduct to manage expectations between me and my people. So again, it cannot be a tick box. It has to be driven by purpose. It has to be driven top down and also bottom up if there is ownership. Being an optimistic person, I do see the change. It's not as fast as I would like it to be. It's slow, but I do see that there is emphasis on climate risks, and it's mainly driven by regulators. The government is really putting this as on top of their agenda, which is putting in a pressure on the market to address sustainability and ESG, particularly with the climate risk law that was issued last year. So is there a change? Yes. Is it in the right direction? Yes, but it is slow. We will see that companies who are not addressing these issues will face challenges to survive long term. And I do see that the more the shareholders are aware of these ESG risks, the more they're giving it emphasis. But also, there's a challenge of acquiring the right talent in the market to be on the executive level. And we're going to see a lot of changes in different industries very soon to drive a positive change faster. We're all in it together, and we're on this, in the right path. But I do believe that we need to collaborate more. We need to project our voices. We need to share our story. We need to share best practices and learn from each other to evolve faster. And one platform is this one, Jessica, you and I sharing our stories on this platform with the audience, that you never know how that will, where is it going to lead. And hopefully it will be for a positive impact and a better future.
Thanks, Racha. So then for this very same sort of goal, would you like maybe to share some advice on how to help, drive real lasting impact to those peers or new industry leaders who are just about to start their sustainability journey? So how can sustainability get implemented faster to drive that change? Any recommendations, any advice?
I don't know if I'm the right person to advise, but I definitely would suggest, I do have recommendation, is clarity of purpose. I put a lot of emphasis on purpose, because without purpose, there's no direction, there's no strategy. And purpose in the business world is a mission statement. So that purpose has to be defined by the shareholders, by the executives. There should be an alignment between the personal and the professional purpose in order for things to head in the right direction, and to ensure that every dime that we spend and every dime that we earn is towards a better good, whether it's for our people or our community. If we can start as, implementing simple methods, that will be the best thing. You don't need to get the sophisticated strategies put into practice from day one. You just need to have an alignment. You need to have a defined purpose, alignment of people around you on the journey, and start with simple principles, with good governance practice and policies to ensure that everybody is on board, and track and measure the outcome of every strategy you implement. In very simple words, I do believe that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Everything in the way we address things, the way we talk, the way we conduct business, and there's always the beginning. And I do believe that we should not wait. We should act fast to be ready for the future. And I do believe that we're going to be playing a vital role in ensuring that we're leaving this planet in good hands of the future generation, where this journey will going to be all about ensuring that we have true leaders to take over our businesses and our world with the right knowledge and skills. We're going to do the right measures to reduce our carbon emission, and hopefully we can also achieve the net zero target by 2050. So yeah, I do think that we should act fast and collaborate with each other. But the most important thing is define your purpose and align it with your professional.
Wow, this is such a powerful message. I think the best possible to today's episode. Racha, this has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you very much for sharing your journey, your advice, your leadership perspective, and your vision for a more resilient and sustainable future.
Such a delight, Jessica, to speak to you, and I hope that I can contribute to the audience and to our future. And any questions at all, or anyone who's interested to talk to me directly, I'm more than happy. I'm always open to connect with wonderful people who are trying to do good, learn from them, and work together for a better world and a better future. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainability Unplugged. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And if you did, stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. Until next time, I'm Jessica Scopacasa, and this is Sustainability Unplugged by Gaea.